Hey guys, I'm Megan.
I'm Madeline.
I'm Ernie.
I'm Stephanie.
And we are
Barn Besties with Farm Fresh Advice.
Ow, ow, ow.
What are we learning about today?
We're going to talk about automatic waters and then kind of our pasture system as well.
Okay, This is unique. I don't see water in this. What is this?
This is a Bar A water, and basically the horse comes up here, presses on this pedal, and then it fills up. Okay.
They actually press on it?
Yes, they usually catch on pretty quick.
Okay.
And then when they release it, it shuts off, and then it drains back down. And supposedly they never freeze because the water is either going up or going down.
Oh.
But that's not 100%. There's nothing that's foolproof, but they work decent.
You challenge Mother Nature in Wisconsin, she's going to prove you wrong.
Because it's basically it's a paddle that goes down to a lever down in the ground to a valve, and the valve opens up, sends the water up, and when you release the paddle, it shuts off, and then there's a one-way valve that opens up, and then the water drains back into like a little gravel base.
Sure. How deep did you have to dig for that?
It's about 6 feet down. It's below the frost line.
That's what we were. It was 6 feet was enough to be below. 6 to 8 is what we've always. She's been told
7, 8 is what we did all our lives.
And our water guy said 6 is plenty for us, and she and I were fairly close. But I have never seen this. I've never seen anything. I've heard about these. I've never actually seen these. So this is fascinating. So is there like a training situation you go through?
Usually, like when we get a new horse, we take them out there like during when they first grow out, like at the beginning of AM chores, and then before we leave, like after AM chores are done, somebody will go out again, just show them the water. But 99% of the time, within a day or two, they just watch the other horses. And they pick it up no problem. I mean, obviously during that period, we always go and still show them the water. But they pick it up really quick. And then usually once we actually see them use the water by themselves, then we stop going out there and checking on them.
That's impressive. Now, when you built the newer barn and put all this in, did you have to drill a secondary well?
No, we have one well that's for the farm, and it's up on the house, or near the house in the barn, and then I have 3 shut-off valves for there. One for the house, and then one for the old barn, and one for the new barn.
Shut-off valves are. Can we talk about the importance of that? Because when we first built our barn, plumbers didn't put in shut-off valves, and major regrets. So every time we had an issue, the whole farm pretty nearly had to be shut off. So as we had to make repairs, first thing I said is, put a shut-off valve in. Put a shut-off valve in. Have you had times where that's come into where you've needed to use your shut-off?
Oh yeah, and it's very handy. It's a special tool that I have, and it goes down, 6 feet down and turns. And we also put shut-off valves by every one of these, and by every one of the waters in the barn. And by the house, and by that barn.
Does this have somewhere in this mechanism a shut-off valve?
You pull out, you lift this cap up, and then all the guts comes out. There's extra hose in there, and then there's a shut-off valve there.
Okay, nice. Megan, I think you have a different system, but you also have shut-off valves in your waters.
It's just a little switch.
Like a turn switch.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, that's fascinating.
And then we have 3 pressure tanks, so we always have really good water pressure, considering that it's we get all the way out to them far waters. There's 19 outside waterers, and so I have a pressure tank in this barn, in that barn, and in the house, and we all have good water pressure at all the spots because I have the pressure tanks in 3 different spots. And that's all from here to the furthest one is 1,100 feet.
Wow. Do you know the size of the pump that you have on your well? Because that has got to be running
no,
to keep the pressure tanks going.
It's not too bad. I mean, I think it's just a 3/4 horse motor, but having the pressure tanks, spaced kind of evenly, helps because there's enough. It pumps enough water to fill up all 3, and it takes demand from, like, for this barn or for that barn, and that way you still maintain pressure.
That's fantastic.
Smart.
I love that. What do you think, Megan?
Very smart.
How did you decide the layout on this? And my gosh, to run all that, is there rock? Like, I know that below where like my water is, at some point I'm going to hit a rock shelf, because when we put our barn in, I have a pole barn, when they dug down, they actually hit bedrock, and they put the barn sitting on the bedrock, which was nice. But it's scary when you're dealing with water lines, because sometimes you can't put an underground water line in because you can't go through bedrock if the bedrock's at 3 feet. And I know you're here. She said the northern kettle, like no issues with bearing.
No, we just trenched them all in with a mini excavator, and it just takes a little time, but
That's
and
fantastic.
we have them all over, and we've added some since then, and it seems to work. So
that's great. I am envious.
Me
I love
too.
it. Yeah. Any questions, Miss Megan?
No.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for showing us this. My first experience seeing this kind of a water, automatic water, the waterless water.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe. We got more to show, right, Miss Megan?
That's right. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.